In this video, we will play with how to edit an avatar and how to add additional objects into the screen. So let's start with an empty screen or file. If you happen to have anything, just right click on it or left click on it and delete it with the delete button on your keyboard. And now let's take a look at our library. So our library comes up with a lot of presets. So come up here on the top left side, left click on avatar, double click to open up all of the folders that are in this particular section. So let's start with the 3D shape. This folder up here that says 3D shape, just left double click on it and it will open up all of the shapes that it has in that particular folder. So we see that we have some kind of a cube rectangle, we have one with more of an oval part, we have a circular one, a cylinder, and then a couple of other shapes. These shapes can be used to be the avatar for an accessory, for example, for a bag, or they can be used as an additional items to sit in your space. Maybe the avatar can lean on it or sit on it. So let's take a look at one of them. Let's start with the first one. I left double click to get this particular shape, and I will go just to the 3D window. So I'm going to zoom up and rotate to see what this shape looks like. If I left click on this shape, I get the Gizmo tool. And with the Gizmo tool, you can rotate and obviously move it in space. And also keep in mind and take a look and see that as the avatar is placed, it's always placed on this grid at 0, 0. It doesn't matter if it's an avatar as a human figure or a 3D shape. Now let's take a look at our Gizmo tool and uh, click on this little square here, and you will see that you have a different version of the Gizmo tool that gives us these three different pulleys. So these actually allow us to change the size of the shape. If you don't have this version of the Gizmo tool, please come up here. Let me come out of it. Please come up into your preferences and then click on Gizmo and make sure that you're in the local coordinate. You have three different versions here. So just come to local coordinate and then you will have this particular Gizmo with the cube inside. So let's click on the little square. So we have these three pulleys, and if I click and pull on them, you can see that you can change the shape overall in 3 dimensions. So I can make it higher, I can make it longer if I wanted to, I can make it more like a square, and let's say that this is good enough for me. I want to make this a kind of like a sitting arrangement, but I would need my avatar first in order to see exactly what kind of a shape I need. So when you're done with that, just come up here and left click once on the little square to get your regular Gizmo tool. And again, the regular Gizmo tool will allow you to move or rotate the object or the avatar in space. And if you don't want that, give me 1 second. If you want to change the shape, again, you have to come and click on the little square, and then you have the opportunity to actually change the shape and make it the size that you need to do. So let's leave it as this for now. I'm going to reset the Gizmo tool, and let's open up an avatar as a human figure. So obviously you can bring more shapes in there. If you left double click on it, it will bring a new shape, erase the old one. If you right click and add to workspace, it will add an additional shape on top or next to the shape. This one, because remember it places it in 0, 0, so it kind of merged the two shapes together. So I will delete the one that I added. So in order to avoid that, it's a good idea to actually move the avatar a little bit to the side, and then you can add a new, because every single avatar that you add will be added at 0, 0. So let's not pile them on top of each other. So let's go back. So these are the different 3D shapes that you can play with. And later on, we can also learn how to create our own shapes. So let's go back one step to the folder. And here we see that we also have female, male, and kids, and each folder has various different figures. But let's start with a female version. You can open any one you like. And I'm going to open Kelly. So actually, in order to add it to the space, don't double click, right click and add to workspace, and then it will be added with the three-dimensional shape that you already have there. So it is. So is again, you can see that the avatar was added at 0, 0, and my cube here is much smaller than the avatar. Okay, so if you wanted to adjust the avatar size, you can left click on it, then come left click on the square and make this a much bigger shape and size as you want. And notice that it went under the grid, so just left click once on the square and then you can lift it up to and place it wherever you like it to be. So now let's take a look at the avatar. So I'm just going to move this now giant shape a little bit to the size, and we will take a look at it a little bit later. So let's look at customization for our avatar. So we have Kelly here, and for Kelly, we have various different possibilities, just like for any other avatar. It doesn't matter if it's a male, female, kid. We can come here and let's start with the hair. The hair, once you left click and open the file, you will see that you have different haircuts. And left click on any of those haircuts and that will change the type of hair that she has. You can have this one, you can have one that's blonde and up in an updo. It doesn't matter which one you click on, each one will come up and will customize your hair. So then you can come back to the folder and let's see what else we have. We also have pose. We have different poses. For example, let's click on 04, left double click on that. And we see that she changed the pose. So maybe for her, we want to make sure that maybe she's leaning on this three-dimensional piece. Okay, so that could be part of a pose. Maybe she has a bag or something else positioned here, and this is part of that. And obviously we need to push her, or maybe just push the 3D object just slightly so it is not interfering with her leg. Okay, and this could be colored. You can place other objects on top of it, or someone could be sitting on top of that cube. Okay, so obviously we have different poses here, and each one, please explore, see what they offer, and see what you like best. And when you're done with that, left click on the folder here, and let's take a look at the shoes. So the shoes, we have a variety of shoes here. Not that many options, but at least we have different high heels and flat shoes and more sporty shoes. Right now she has a black high heel. Let's see a flat ballerina flat, and notice how her high heel changed into a flat shoe automatically. So not just the shoe change, but also the position of her foot. Let's try a sporty shoe. And we see that now she has a sporty shoe. Maybe we have an outfit that is more sporty. And here, I think I changed a little bit the size, so her hand is now digging in the cube, but we can fix that later. So let's go back. So these are the different shoes, and obviously we can come in and color them or give them a pattern. And later on, we'll be able to edit the top of them. Okay, so let's go back. The upper part of the shoe. We also have different sizes, and you can left click on that and you can see what kind of different sizes are here. There are also some maternity options, and you don't really see what they look like until you left click on them, but let's take a look. So you can see that we have now a pregnant avatar. and you can explore all the different options here. Yeah, so I guess different months and different sizes. You can always go back and try a different position or different size. And this is what they are. Now we can also customize all of the measurements on the avatar, and I will show you that in a few seconds. But let's go back first and see what else we have, what other options we have. We also have, so we looked at hair, pose, shoes, size. We also have different textures. So here, notice, I know it looks a little creepy. So we have some with underwear. This is the one she's wearing. We also have a different options where she is naked, but we'll do that in a different way. So let's take a look also at the options for male figures. We can come up here. We have kids, and we have a couple of female, a couple of male kids, and younger or little older. And for them, you also have different hairs, poses, and sizes. You can also take a look at a couple of male options, two different folders. Each one has a couple of different male or dark hair, Caucasian, Asian, a couple of different options here. Now, we can also have a lot more customizations for the whatever avatar you have. Okay, you can come up into avatar, up in the menu here, click on avatar, and then avatar editor. So the avatar editor will open right now, and we have a lot more options to actually customize it in whatever size, whatever measurements we like. And you can see that we have this option in inches or in centimeters. So let's say the height, for example, you want to do in centimeters. You see that she's she's 166 centimeters right now. Let's say I'll make her 170. Click return, and you can see that she got a little bit taller. You can also do the bust, the width, the neck base, and whatever you click on, it highlights here in the window so you can see exactly what you're editing. Um, Here, notice that we have a couple of different options. The basic one gives us less options, and you can scroll down to see what they are. Or you can also come to a more advanced and click on that, and then we get a lot more options. And again, you can click on each one, and you can always come back here mid whatever you're changing and change to inches, centimeters, millimeters, feet, an inch, whatever you like. So within different measurements that you're changing, you can come up here and change just to inches or centimeters or millimeters, whatever you're most comfortable with. And again, you can click on any of these measurements, see where it is, and then measure yourself, for example, and give the measurements that you like. If you get and create an avatar that you like with the perfect measurements, you come up here to this little icon. It looks like a floppy disk. If you remember, or if you know what a floppy disk is, was the old computers were using floppy disks to save, but just hover over it, you will see save, and the one next to it is open. So if you have an avatar saved, you can come up here, click on that, find, click on that, find the avatar wherever you have saved it, and then just pull that avatar. Okay. We don't have one that's saved right now, so we're gonna click closed. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the object browser and property editor, and we're actually going to look at a few more possibilities. So if you would like, you can actually customize more some of the colors. For example, let's make it a little closer to her. You could change the lipstick that she's wearing. So you can left click on her face. Let's just click once, on her face, and you will see here in the property editor, take a look where texture is. It's under basic parameters, and you will see a little picture. So you can click on that, and that will show where the file with all of her hair, eye, everything that's on her face will actually appear here. So we have the face highlighted, and we're getting all of the JPEG files for all of these. So you could bring her face, left click once to select it, and you see what it looks like. You could actually bring this into Photoshop, and you will get the file. Make sure you're on a file that you can edit, and you can zoom in closer, and you could create, let me just pull this away. You can zoom in closer, and you could create a different color lipstick. For example, we could put blue lipstick on her. Just make sure your opacity is lower, and then we can come in and we can give her a little bit more color. So maybe that was too low of an opacity. You can go a little higher, or you can just go over it a couple of different times. So you could come in and create different color hair, different color lipstick, and you can give her a little more personality and customize her however you like. So when you're happy with that, let me give her a little more shading here. So whenever you're happy with the folder, you can simply save that. Make sure that you're saving it as a JPEG file. And I'm going to call this face with blue lip. So save that. And now when you're, so I'm going to close out of Photoshop. So now when you're in, CLO and you click on her face and either click on texture or on the four squares here, that will pull up all of the possibilities. So this is the one with the blue lip. Click on it, and now we have an avatar with blue lipstick. So obviously you can do a better job and make sure that she is perfectly done. And that's a customization that you can do for the hair. You can do that. Here's the texture of the hair. You can do that for certain parts of the skin. You could create a tattoo if you like, or anything else that you like. Now, remember that we could also change this three-dimensional shape and even change her pose to a sitting pose and make her, you can have her sitting on that cube. So let's take a quick look at that. So remember what avatar you're using, that was Kelly, and make sure that you're working within the options of that specific one. So for example, if she is sitting, just click OK. And now I would just need to customize this particular shape. I'm going to click on the square, make it smaller. That probably looks okay. And then just move it, and we'll have to move it a little lower. So that could be, so obviously here it needs to be a little shorter. And now she's sitting on this piece.